Greetings, Rebel fans. My name is Jason Kelly. This is the Let's Run podcast. I want to welcome you all to the show today. Grateful to be talking to you before I head down to the Thomas and Mack for our senior night, where we are going to be celebrating Isaiah Cottrell. We're going to be celebrating Jalen Hill. We're going to be celebrating Jalen Bedford. We're going to be celebrating a bunch of guys that have given a lot to the program. And taking on a very good, very dangerous San Diego State team that has consistently given us a lot of problems. I'm surprised that Isaiah Cottrell is graduating. I didn't believe that he was graduating, but so the seniors are, just to list them all out: Isaiah Cottrell, Jalen Hill, Julian Rishwin, and Jalen Bedford. 4 seniors, 4 people that are going to walk on the court, hopefully with their families and everything. Should be. I hope their families are all there. I remember last year the Boones didn't have their families there. But a big night, a fun night. This show will be pretty short. I just want to go over the matchup a little bit. I know that I didn't start this quite as soon as I would have liked to, but I want to preview the teams, give a prediction, and then the post-game show will be much more in detail. We're going to talk about the game, obviously, what happened. We're going to talk about the seniors. We're going to discuss Keith Whitfield, UNLV's president, stepping down. I promise, I don't want to talk too much about that because it's kind of a bit of a distracting issue, and it has nothing to do with the game tonight and the season that we're experiencing right now. But all right, let's dive into the matchup. So San Diego State comes in as a slight favorite in this game. KenPom has them as a 3-point favorite. San Diego State has their usual stellar defense, ranked 13th in the country. UNLV's defense has come on strong, up to 60th, but genuinely UNLV's defense is not like San Diego State. San Diego State guards the ball ferociously. They create havoc. They generate turnovers. They get out in transition. They have the number 1 block rate in the country. They block more shots than any other team. This is a team that UNLV has already beaten this season. UNLV did win at Viejas, which was a very impressive win. But tough to beat a team twice. UNLV has, the only good wins UNLV has in conference play are against Utah State and against San Diego State. San Diego State, much like Utah State, I'm sure is going to be itching for a chance to pay back the Rebels for that humiliating defeat that we handed them on their home floor. San Diego State does not shoot the ball particularly well. Their 3-point percentage, 97th in the country, 32%, 49% from 2. It's an okay offense, but nothing spectacular. They don't get a ton of free throw attempts per game. They're not super aggressive. They kind of tend to settle for a lot of jump shots. They're really vulnerable when they do go to the free throw line. They miss a lot of free throws. You would assume that they get more steals than they do, but not as many as you think. They play very disciplined kind of defense. In terms of 3-pointers, they take quite a few of them. They don't make a ton, but they take quite a few. Their best player is, in my opinion, it's Miles Bird. Nick Boyd's also a very good player. Kind of these two guys are their 2 lead guards. Guards is kind of a stretch with Bird. I mean, Bird's 6'7", but he definitely plays more like a guard than anything else. Neither of them shoot the ball very well. So I imagine the Rebels' game plan will be to kind of shrug off of them, give them space on the perimeter to take jump shots. And use the Rebels in, newfound size on the perimeter without DJ Thomas to kind of try and bully the perimeter players like BJ Davis. I'm going to be interested to see how Magoon Guath looks. I'm not 100% sure what his status is. I know that he took a little bit of a spill a couple of weeks ago, a week or so ago. Going to be interested to see how healthy he is tonight, how ready he is to go. He's a 7-footer, great shot blocker. His block rate is insane, 3rd in the country. For reference, Bear Cherry is incredible at blocking shots. He's 49th. And so Wayne McKinney, pretty solid player they have coming off. Taj DeGorville, a couple of players that UNLV really needed to get were Taj DeGorville and Pharaoh Compton, who both ended up playing for the Aztecs and would have made great running Rebels. But this is a defensive team that has some star power at the top that loves to score with using those stars. And the Rebels are without DJ Thomas still, which, definitely sucks. but UNLV does have some advantages because of that on the perimeter with size. You're going to see Jalen Bedford, Jaden Henley, Jalen Hill. These are 6'3" to 6'7" guys, Julian Rishwain, on the perimeter that are going to be playing defense for us. Bear Cherry, I'm excited to see how he looks, especially in the Guath matchup. I want to see if he can keep this offensive stretch that he's in. His offensive game has really come a long way this last 3 weeks or so. He's rounded into the player that he was at the beginning of the year and the player that we thought he was going to be. Pretty excited for Bear. I think this is a big matchup. This is a game where he can get a lot of opportunity. Excited to see how Jalen Bedford looks. He tried to absolutely obliterate a Reno player. I don't remember which player he tried to dunk over in transition last game. But Jalen Bedford looked like his season was done as he exited last game with some sort of leg injury. But apparently, maybe it was just a cramp. Apparently, Jalen Bedford, according to sources, well, not my sources, but according to reporters, Jalen Bedford is going to play, and he's going to be healthy. His efficiency as an offensive player has been really rough since DJ went out. But I think we just need the inning. You have guys who are innings eaters. And we need Jalen Bedford just to take shots because where else are we going to generate the offense from? The big story for this game is going to be Jaden Henley. He took a star turn last game against Reno, played an excellent game. This game, San Diego State's going to bring some serious ball pressure on him in a way that Reno did not. And so I would fully expect, San Diego State's going to give Jaden Henley some problems, and how he responds is going to basically dictate if the Rebels have a chance to win this one. It's going to be a tight rotation. You're going to see Julian Rishwain, Brooklyn Hicks, Jalen Hill, Bear Cherry, Jaden Henley, and Jalen Bedford. It's going to be a 7-man and Pop. It's going to be a 7-man rotation, mostly a 5-man rotation. I wouldn't expect a ton of minutes spread around amongst the guys. UNLV is going to Jaden Henley is going to have to continue to be a star. Jalen Hill is going to have to use his size and physicality to get the ball in the paint and score. And I hope Brooklyn Hicks can play a little bit better. He's been dealing with a leg issue, but his level of play since DJ's been out hasn't been good. And he's a guy that I really believed in and believe in. And so I'm hoping that Brooklyn can turn the corner in this game and turn into the guy that we all think that he can be. So what's my prediction for this game? I do not have the Runnin' Rebels pulling this one out. I think without DJ, with the on-ball pressure of San Diego State, I don't know that our offense is going to be able to generate enough points. I see a somewhat comfortable San Diego State victory. I hope that I'm wrong. Something like 66-54 in favor of the Aztecs, who have historically done very well at the Thomas and Mack Center. I hope that I'm wrong. It's senior night. I am sad I'm not going to be wearing white, even though we're supposed to be wearing white. But I fully hope and have faith that these guys can go out there and give it their all. I just think scoring is going to be pretty tough without a true ball handler on the court. And so unless Jalen Bedford's going to go for 25 points, I just have a hard time seeing how UNLV is going to generate the necessary offense to score in this game. In a similar fashion, I think it'll kind of feel a lot like the Colorado State game. You might see the Rebels keep it close early, but ultimately fall behind. So, guys, I just wanted to say thanks for the show. The season's kind of coming to a close between basketball and football. The show has grown immeasurably. There will be a much longer show post-game where we'll really dive into the nitty-gritty details. We'll talk about Keith Whitfield leaving UNLV and then the position that he's put UNLV in for the next 5 to 10 years. And yeah, we'll dive into it with a little bit more detail. I'll be there at the game. Shoot me a message if you want to meet up. I'd love to see you. I'll come to wherever you are. But guys, I appreciate you checking out the show. I will see you at the MAC in about half an hour. Let's run, folks. Woo!